Well, hey, good morning. Welcome to the Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. I'm your host, Adam Blue, 30 plus year video game enthusiast and industry analyst. And today, for May 19th, 2025, we'll go through the latest gaming news, what I've been playing, especially this past weekend. And yeah, we'll see what else. I'll probably play some games. So it was really a fun weekend for playing games. I don't know what it is. There's just a bunch of fun little things to play. Bunch of little things, right? It's almost like I'm degrading, but now let's go through this. It would work if I always forget to set up the screen share, but it's very easy to do. Not no, that's just tiny, so I'd have to reset it. Give me a second. Can I can reset this. Yeah, reset crop. No, reset transformation. There we go. Now I can. Guys, I'll get this done before the show next time, I promise. Hey, morning, Ultroners. Good to see you. Okay. The Precinct. This is that recent Steam release, the police isometric game. Played it a little bit Friday because it came out. Played some more this weekend, so I've played almost 2 hours of it, and it's very fun. I do like the core loop. It's where it's like every day it's a shift. You go, it gives you like a general idea of like maybe you patrol this area, patrol that area, on foot patrol, car patrol, whatever. And then through that you come across incidents, and there's a degree of the simulationness to it, but I think it does a good job of still allowing it to be pretty sandboxy. Like if you saw the video last week, you're driving around, your car smashing into things. You don't really get called out too much for that. Hitting people, even though most of the time they jump out of the way. The game does a good job of riding that line of being just realistic enough to feel like it's a simulation, but then also having so many systems in play that you can actually make use of without like every second you getting kicked off the force for something. They do it really well. Hey, Jam Killix, good to see you. So I recommend the Precinct. Very fun, very different playing game than one I've played normally. Now it's interesting because it's a $20 game, so I don't know how long it is, but that might be a good thing. That might give me a reason to just try to play through it. All right, KIBORG. This is one I skipped out. I played the demo on here, and it had the roguelike stuff, and I was like, I don't really care too much. But my brother got it, and then I came across some posts of people talking about it, and it sounded more interesting. So yes, I downloaded it to try the main game, and I was actually very surprised how fun it is. I'm going to show you guys later. I don't know how to talk about it because it feels like a 360 era brawler. Like we've talked about that before, but there's just something about its loop and the story. Again, even though I don't pay attention to story, but there's enough interesting things happening to me. Yeah, we'll look at that later. Okay, Doom: The Dark Ages, 5 hours, 42 minutes in. So I feel like I can give a fair assessment of the game so far. I played it on the stream, talked about it a bit. I feel like it plays better than Doom Eternal. I like that they kind of scaled it down a bit in terms of it's still fast, but slower. It's slower, but there's more to do to choose from at any given moment. And throughout the game, there's different gameplay elements. I have a live stream up from Saturday of when I was playing, but it was a level where you're in a mech in Doom. And they've done stuff like that in the previous Dooms, but it was nice to have a level where it just feels different how you're playing completely. And then later on, there's a level where you're riding a dragon. You're flying it around, and it's like in an open world area. It's pretty interesting. And then there's even a later level that is pretty much a giant open world. And while there's objectives you could do, you can also find tons of hidden secrets. I actually had fun with that. In fact, I would rather that be the game than, I don't know. I kind of, playing this, I like all the neat things they've added in, but I think it's so far removed from Doom that, like, to me, this is its own thing. Even like Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, fun games, but I feel like it kind of removed itself from Doom. Doom seemed fast-paced at the time just because there wasn't many FPSs out, but I felt like it had its own flow that it used very well in Doom 3. I love Doom 3. And so with these new Dooms, they're going in a different direction, but I wish they could kind of scale it back and make it a little slower paced and scarier. So what I'm saying is, if they were to, I would rather Doom kind of go back to level design and then have just interesting creatures you have to fight and figure it out. What they do different with this is just have it where it's open world, bunch of different options, and to a degree it's easy. Now, I started on the and I forget if it's not the easiest difficulty, but whatever I think is the starting or the whatever's right after starting. But anyway, listening to people online talk about the game, they've all been putting it on like near the hardest difficulty. I'm like, okay, so this game was probably made to be easy on purpose because it's that mainstream Game Pass title. But the options are there. Though I will say I'm kind of having fun just playing at the difficulty it's at. I'll get to Soul Crest in a minute because it reminded me of that. Sometimes when I'm playing a game and I like to play with the difficulty, it really depends if that is that amping up the time or is that amping up maybe how I have to think about a situation. If it just means higher HP, I have to be more careful and methodical and think, and I'm just taking time. No. It's an interesting balance here because this game is made to be so fast-paced. So, all right. Soul Cresta. This is a shmup from Platinum that I should have bought when it first came out, but it was full price. And I'm like, a full-priced shmup that looks like the way it does, I don't know. And even the reviews are like, it's okay. And it's like a spiritual sequel to some older games. Anyway, playing Soul Cresta, I think it is amazing. It is top-tier shmup. I wish I bought it sooner. It's doing so much well. I don't know where to explain, where to start the explanation, because it, from the story to the graphics, the way it does the graphics, it's like a faux 2D, and it pulls it off really well. And then even the gameplay, playing it, what they're doing with shmups, adding so many upgrade paths and things you can do with formations. Soul Cresta is Ultronums. It's on your list. You need to get it 100%. This is one of the best shmups I've played in a long time. And it's a vertical, and I prefer horizontal. Part of it, too, is its upgrading system. You're constantly leveling up and upgrading things. There's always something to do, something to think about it. The levels are long. The levels are easy, but it's because it kind of goes back to what I was talking about with Doom. The levels are long, but the game is easy. So when you're playing, you really feel like you're getting value out of it. I feel like there's that balance when it comes to the shmup of how to make it work in modern day. You don't want to make it too hard, or people are like, well, this is too hard, I never get to see the game. You want to make it easy enough for people to get to see the game, the mechanics, what the game has to offer, so that they're willing to stick with it. Soul Cresta is doing something very amazing. Again, this is Platinum Games before the last of the OG Platinum left. And I cannot believe I skipped out on this game the whole time, because this is true, like, Platinum, like what I would expect from a shmup and what I would expect from Platinum Games. So, okay, and then speaking of a shooter, Macross Shooting Insight. I've been wanting to play. There's 2 Macross games that came out recently. I've been wanting to play this one, but reviews are really bad. And I think I picked it up because on PlayStation, I think it's on sale. And that's why I picked it up. And that's the thing. Like, I think I talked about the other day about budgets. So just to kind of get in the head of a gamer, trying to be conscious of spending, like Doom Dark Ages, that was Game Pass. That's kind of like a built-in monthly gaming budget. The Precinct, and this is where I was talking about the games with the length. Precinct is on sale for $18. Normally like 20 or 25. So at that price, you would think, okay, the game's probably not that long of a game anyway. So I'm not paying too much. Not that it's poor quality, but just the length. And I think that's good. KIBORG, that's at Steam family sharing, so that worked out. Dark Ages on Game Pass. Soul Cresta, another one that was on sale. And Shooting Insight was on sale. But I still want to get the Gundam Seed game coming out. All right, so that's what I played this weekend. Right, yeah, we'll talk about KIBORG a little bit. Oh, Macross, I have much to say. No, I didn't play too much of Macross, except I liked that the gameplay changed. It went from vertical to twin stick shooting, and I'm sure there's horizontal. I haven't played too much yet, but I liked what I played so far. Okay. So I find this whole situation amazing with Bungie. Bungie pulls marathon gameplay after art plagiarism storm and say it's reviewing all art. So I didn't realize to the degree in which the art used in Marathon was pulled, but pretty much the entire design of Marathon is lifted from a different artist. I remember I covered this last week and I was like, yeah, this does happen. We're all complaining. We're all worried about AI, but this stuff just still happens within the human experience. But over the weekend, I realized that like every single aspect of Marathon's design is lifted from this dude. And I think I showed some of it on Friday, but like here is, I guess, who knows which one is the guy's artwork, which one's Marathon. I think the right's the guy's artwork, but it's like literally lifted all in there. And I mean, even this stuff is like very specific to this guy's artwork, and they completely lifted it. The entire game is this. Already people weren't crazy about the alpha. And then this is insane. And again, the other thing to add is, 99% of the people working on this had no idea that was going on. They saw this, they were inspired, they're excited about what they were making. So I feel bad for them too. Let's see, like enough to get people to not trust Bungie again. Yeah, this is a little too much. Like, hey, a lot of the original Bungie staff wasn't at Bungie anyway when they went to make Destiny, and even Destiny didn't turn. So it's like, I feel like there's been the Halo legacy that's followed them this whole time. All right, Doom: The Dark Ages Steam player count is the lowest of the reboot trilogy. One, I could see that. I mean, to be honest, as cool as Doom: The Dark Ages is, I would not have played it if it wasn't on Game Pass. And so that's the other thing, is there a lot of numbers high on Game Pass because it's PC Game Pass. If you have a PC, it's cheaper just to use Game Pass to play Doom than it is to buy Doom. So that's what I would think would be going on. Yeah, now Doom's player count numbers don't take into account the Xbox Game Pass numbers. So yeah, that's exactly okay. So they did address that here, but anyway. And then here's the from Forbes: Marathon might get delayed. Now this is 2 days ago. I know that there has been a delay, so I don't know if they mean another delay because this game sure did get delayed. Let's see. It turns out, okay, they're just talking about. They put the blame on a former Bungie artist. The stream yesterday, which was originally meant to wrap up the alpha, ended up being a huge apology, and they couldn't show gameplay out of fear that the artist designs would be in it. Wow. So that's how far that went. Again, it's funny, on my Gundam Explain channel that I'll make some AI artwork and I put it out there, and then people will push back and say I'm ruining jobs, and then like, but I'm not. There's no like evidence of that. But then we look at like Bungie, huge company, was with Microsoft, now with Sony, the biggest of these companies, literally ripping off an artist's complete artwork into a multi-million-dollar franchise. Now, maybe he's seen some of it, or maybe he's not. But I so far, I don't know why people are attacking AI when we see what's really happening. And then let's see. Microsoft has been doing internal tests to add Steam to the Microsoft Store. I cannot wait. This is the inevitable. Just thinking of, man, an Xbox console or any type of PC hardware. You can have your whole Xbox library, your whole Steam library. It's pretty cool stuff. Especially when considering something like if you buy a game on Xbox, it's also on your PC Game Pass. Sure, you get them both. But with PlayStation, I would have to buy them separately. So now it's like, well, I would rather just wait and buy my game on PC so I can have, all my games on this one platform that is consolidating anyway. It's not like Sony's removing games they're releasing on PC. No, they're releasing more and more games on PC. And it's interesting to see where all this is going. Okay. And yeah, the news, that wasn't too exciting. There wasn't that much news. I still find the Bungie stuff crazy. And then there was some Nintendo news. Actually, let me see. What was the Nintendo thing? While the game is loading, let me see what I can pull up. Man, this game's only taking its time to start up. That's another thing. Doom, Dark Ages. Like, I have that game set to max on this PC. Load times are instant. In fact, sometimes the load screen will be sitting there for me to press to continue, and I'm just thinking it's loading. So it's amazing. This is id Tech 8, not Unreal. And the game runs flawlessly. It's crazy. It's very interesting. I was asking ChatGPT if they can find me some niche gaming news, and it's listed a whole bunch of games I never even heard about. We'll get to that later. Okay. KIBORG played the demo. This full version, unless I'm just wrong, this full version seems completely different than the demo. Almost to where it fixed anything that was standing out in the demo, because then as I'm playing this,
we've added the augmentations to the show's prize pool, so you can now acquire them from safes. Augmentations complement your implants with a variety of powerful effects.
Oh, wait a minute.
Your choice of augmentations is always based on what implants you have equipped.
I gotta remember the button. I think I have a new ability. And then I can add things. Let's see. Regenerates health each second. You have a long attack chain. I like the sound of that. Whoa. Thrown weapon returns like a boomerang, losing durability for each enemy hit. Okay, hits to weak spots deal increased damage. Enemies killed this way drop universal ammo pickup. I kind of like this health one. Alright, so that's where we see kind of the what am I talking? The roguelike, element to it. Oh yeah, and then I guess I get to pick a gun when I go out too. And then later I can add mods and accidentally getting inspired by one or two pieces of art. Maybe it was a mistake. All the art, yeah, I know. Alternatives. That's what is weird about it. One or two things sometimes, but all of the art. So LB and an attack allows you zoom toward the enemy is such a smart idea. If you want to go to gap quick in these games, then RB to block. And then if you block right before it hits, counter. So this game has a counter system. And I gotta say, for the graphics, technically almost seeming like it's low budget, it's a nice.
The fight is over!
Let's see, what do we got here? Speeds up shield restoration, enhances all implants, firearms cause electric explosions that additionally deal a portion of the initial damage. That's cool. Looks like Titanfall. And then finishing a combo with a heavy attack, you make additional super quick strikes. Let's do that. Okay. Yeah, so... Oh, was it a bit loud? Let me try that. Yeah, let me know how that is. So, the thing that sometimes that I would complain about with these games is kind of the roguelike nature where there's not much to it because I'm just repeating a lot. The difference with this is how much gameplay there is.
Sidearm. It doesn't require manual targeting. Simply press the trigger to shoot. We
Yeah, let me
call
go
it
this
a
way.
quick shot. You can't
Yeah, there's just enough
mechanics
mechanics within the game that
attack opponents in close combat.
that lady talking is that there's so much to think about when I'm wanting to play. You know. Oh, that was cool. Oh, that's that mod I got that adds. Wow, that was cool. Oh, wrong button. That was cool. Okay, so yeah, and then even how much the combos add. So that's my current weapon, but I can add either change or I don't know.
The crowd is in ecstasy. Bravo.
Okay. Like, you know, this is kind of boring. I'm just kind of
set of implants. Fenrir improves your melee weapon significantly while spreading cold to hamper the movements of your enemies.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have this other. Oh, there we go. I hadn't used that yet. Yeah, and apparently for just regular bullets, you could just block. Oh. Oh, that was cool. Oh, I need to get out of there. There we go. Oh, I'm on fire. I wonder if I can get out of that.
Yes, you did it. Let's move on.
Nope, I just have to wait. Holy moly. Okay.
During the last combat, you were affected by what we call a negative state.
Oh.
They can be quite
This is done on
debilitating.
purpose.
Please note that they're accumulated gradually and only become dangerous when fully accumulated. Most negative states will quickly degrade over time.
That's it? I thought she was like, here's a potion. Oh. Oh, that's cool. Ah, I couldn't jump. Am I slower or something? Am I supposed to go there? I don't... No, that was it? Okay. I'm still on fire. All right. All right, here we go. Hopefully I can get some health. I don't. Oh, I should have. I don't know if I should dodge or block. Or... You know, just getting a feeling like this has good pace for you know, Streets of Rage type game. which I would have loved that if it was like a stage-based Streets of Rage game themed level. Oh, that's cool. All right. Yeah.
Logan Weeks. Bravo.
All right. And I don't know. There's probably ways to get health, like I think maybe in between, like when those crates drop.
Of course you are. It is
But yeah, I've already died twice, and it seems like it's kind of easy
the segment
to die.
showing which were answering
In terms of if you're just not using their
questions
combat
from the party.
skills, you could die easily. I love the fighting. Really well done. Oh, that's not good. Oh, rocket. Holy moly. Oh no. Okay.
What a painful death.
All right, now to show what happens, and I got quite a bit there.
I'm sure.
There's a lot of leveling up. That's that other aspect I wanted to add, you know, considering this is a roguelike. It does have a lot of aspects to really, you do feel like you're getting into something different when you're playing again. Instead of being like, oh, I'm going through this again.
Your special move Second Breath, when unlocked, can remove all negative states on use. It is especially useful against poison, as that negative state doesn't degrade over time.
So this is your skill tree. I mean, look how big it is. It's very interesting. Increase health, and then so I went for like yeah, I unlocked a super move, but I can then unlock health to be. There's like so much you could do where I feel like this game does offer a lot, especially with how much fun I just had, and that didn't take up a lot of time. And I have 170 to do some upgrades. Let me see. So the bullet stuff don't really care for now. This tower upgrade portal increase the level of meditation traders. I don't know what any of this is. This might be something I'm getting into later, so it might be worth doing this. Yeah, getting mutations between rounds is probably good, but yeah, I was only able to buy that one thing. And then your weapons switch to elite. Interesting. I don't know if that's, and this is just showing them, I guess. I don't know if this necessarily means that it is actually unlocked. This one, oh, well, let's go to this. I think this is the, oh, this is just achievements. But I guess it's a good way to kind of get an understanding of where to go, what to do. Like this one, complete a collapse. I guess that was that puzzle room. Oh, and then I can unlock stuff, but arena, that's something to unlock. So yeah, you can see this game does have a lot going on. Oh, actually, you can sit here and go through here, and it goes through all the moves. How nice is that? And then you just sit here and practice, which is good. I've barely been using it, but it's the spin move, which is perfect against a lot of guys. But and then I haven't been using the blocking a lot, but at the bottom you see those gold shields, and as you block, like, you bust them. And then yeah, on the right hand side I hold RB, and there's multiple things to unlock. Looks like B is health, so eventually I'll be able to give myself health while I'm playing. All in all, this is very, very well done and very fun, and I think it has to do with that it has a really good combat system. Yeah, it's a roguelike, but you're getting back into it pretty quick, and there's something about it that just seems to work. Yeah, I like that. So, all right, all. It is that time. I'm going to head out, but this was a good, fun Monday. It's going to be raining here in Texas. It was kind of raining over the weekend. But I got to say, I had a fun weekend of playing those games, those collections of games. There was a lot of games. KIBORG, Precinct, Soul Cresta, Macross, Doom. Just jumping into a little bit of each. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It was raining, so we were in a little more. yeah, just a lot of fun. Anyway, if you have questions about any of these games because you want to jump in, let me know because I think they're fun. Although this week we're getting the Gundam game, aren't we? So I might be doing that. Anyway, all guys, all heading out. Have a good day. See you later.